Guys, I'm Kayla Fournier and welcome to Zay's Crochet and Macrame. Today I'm going to show you how to make crochet fingerless gloves. Now I also have another tutorial on matching crochet leg warmers, so you should definitely check those out as well. The link to those will be down below. They match perfectly with these fingerless gloves and I think you'll just love the style together. So these fingerless gloves are just great for the winter time. They're nice and lacy and cute, and it's nice to also be able to use your fingers at the same time when you need to use your phone or something instead of regular gloves when you're not able to do so. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and comment down below your thoughts on it, if it was easy, medium, or hard, and what you think of the pattern overall. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more content as well. I will be posting weekly videos on crochet or macrame tutorials. Alright guys, let's get started.
This tutorial, I will be using a yarn sewing needle, 3.25mm crochet hook, and crafting scissors. I will be using Cascade Yarn's Ultra Pima Fine cotton yarn. You can use the regular Ultra Pima if you would like. Personally, I like to use the fine. Here are the measurements in case you would like to use a different brand of cotton yarn. So you're going to go ahead and roll your yarn ball into a ball. I'm going to be using some leftover yarn balls I already had rolled up. I am using the color China Pink for this tutorial. So we're going to start off by making a slip knot. Put our loop on our hook and tighten it. And we're going to chain 10. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, for a total of 10 chains. We're now going to skip the first 2 chains and then do a double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. So we will yarn over, put our hook through the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to go ahead and do a double crochet into each chain all the way down for a total of 8 double crochets. I have now completed row 1, and good thing I'm doing a recording voiceover because this is what I have to deal with. Now for our second row, we're going to chain 2 and turn our work around, and we're going to be working double crochets into each stitch along the back, except we're going to do it a little differently this time. So we start by yarning over, and we're going to go ahead and feed our hook through the first stitch and then have it go right through the second stitch there, and then yarn over, and we're going to pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to do each stitch the same way all the way across. Yarn over, go through the top of the first stitch, out through the second, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So doing this will give our gloves a little zigzag stretchy effect for around the wrist. Now I'm at the end of my second row, and I'm just going to do a double crochet into that last stitch like a normal one. And this is what it looks like on the back. So we're going to chain 2 and turn our work around for our third row, and we're going to continue to do the same exact thing that we just did for the second row. After this row, we are going to do a total of 20 more rows, so we will end with a total of 23 rows of double crochets. I have now ended with 23 rows, and we are going to carry on with our 24th row, doing it just a little bit differently. For row 24, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to turn our work around and grab the other end of our work, and we're going to do a slip stitch into the first chain stitch right there. So slip stitch and just attach our work together, and then we're going to go ahead and work a double crochet like we were with the other stitches. And after we work our first double crochet, we're going to slip stitch into the next chain stitch there. And then we will do another double crochet going in through both loops, and then slip stitch into the next stitch. So with us doing this going all the way across, we will be attaching our fingerless gloves. This is going to be the top part, which will be by the wrists of your arm. So finish doing this for a total of 8 double crochets. I'm at the end of row 24, and I'm going to do my last slip stitch and my last ending double crochet. And we have now completed the first step and starting point of our fingerless gloves. So for our first row here, we're going to chain 2 and do a half double crochet by yarning over, putting our hook through the first stitch, yarn over, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And we will continue to do double half crochets evenly all the way around to the other side. So you will have about 2 half double crochets going into each double crochet along the side. I'm now at the end of my first row of this round with a total of 27 half double crochets. Now I'm going to slip stitch into my first half double crochet to end the round. Now for our next row, we will chain 2, and we're going to skip the first 2 stitches and double crochet into the third stitch from the hook. Then we're going to do another double crochet into that same stitch. Then we will chain 1 and do 2 more double crochets into that same exact stitch. Then we're going to chain 1 and skip the next 2 stitches and do a single crochet into the third stitch. Then we're going to chain 1 and skip the next 2 stitches and start working into the 3rd stitch, doing 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, the same pattern that we just did. And we're going to continue doing the same pattern all the way around to the other side. I'm now at the end of my row, and I'm going to chain 1, skip those last 2 stitches there, and do a slip stitch into the first chain stitch here. And that completes our second row for our second round. Now we will chain 4, and we're going to work into this chain 1 space here, doing a double crochet, and then a second double crochet, chaining 1, and doing 2 more double crochets into that same stitch. Then we will chain 1 and do a double crochet into this single crochet. Chain 1 and skip over and work into the chain 1 space there, doing the same pattern of 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And we will continue doing this all the way to the other end. I'm now at the end of row 3, and I will end by chaining 1 and slip stitching into the 3rd chain from the beginning stitch. So the 3rd chain up, I will be slip stitching in to end our row. For row 4, we're going to do the same exact thing we did at row 3, and we're just going to continue doing the same pattern for the next 9 rows. So we will have a total of 12 rows of our lace pattern, but a total of 13 rows altogether. I've now completed my 13th row for a total of 12 rows of our lace pattern. So now we're going to start by making our thumb loop. And I'm going to do that by chaining 22. Once you've chained 22, we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into that first stitch where we started our chains, back into the same stitch. Now we are going to just turn our work a little, and I'm going to slip stitch up the next 3 chain stitches. So going into the first chain stitch there, just going to work a slip stitch. And we're going to do that for 3 times, going up 3 chains. Okay, so once we've worked up 3 chains, we're going to chain 1, turn our work around, and continue to work our 14th row. And do 2 double crochets into the chain 1 space here, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets into the same chain 1 space. And then chain 1, double crochet on top of the next double crochet stitch, and chain 1. So continue this all the way around. I'm now at the end of row 14, and I've chained 1, and now I'm going to count up to the 3rd chain and slip stitch into that 3rd chain. And that will complete row 14. Now for row 15, we're going to work up slip stitching up the next 3 chains. Once you've slip stitched up 3 chains, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work around and start working into the chain 1 space. And we're going to repeat the same thing we just did for row 14, going all the way around to the other side. Once we've completed this row, we're going to do it for a total of 2 more rows, working our way up the thumb holes till we get to the top. I'm now at the end of my row here, and I'm going to be slip stitching into the last stitch right here. So going up the next 2 stitches, slip stitching into the 3rd chain stitch there, joining to the other side. So we now have a total of 15 rows. So for row 16, we're going to chain 4, turn our work around, and start working into our chain 1 space. Continuing the same pattern, going all the way around of 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. So do that until we get to the other side. I'm now at the end of row 18, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain here, counting up to the 3rd chain stitch, slip stitch in there to end our row. Now for row 19, we're going to repeat the same steps as row 18. And we're going to do this for a total of 3 more rows. So including this one and then 2 more, the exact same way, so that we will have a total of 21 rows. I've now completed my 21st row, and we have a total of 20 lace rows and 1 row of half double crochets. So now for row 22, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to work half double crochets, starting with 1 going into our first stitch that we are in. Then we're going to do another half double crochet into the chain 1 space, half double crochet into the top of the next double crochet, half double crochet into the top of the next double crochet stitch, and then we're just going to skip the chain 1 space and do a half double crochet into the top of the next double crochet, and another one into the top of the next. Then another half double crochet into the chain 1 space and skip the next double crochet and do a half double crochet into the next chain 1 space. And we're going to repeat that all the way around for a total of 27 half double crochets. I'm at the end of row 22 with 27 half double crochets. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet to end my row. So for row 23, we're going to chain 2, then we're going to do a double crochet decrease into the first 2 stitches where we wrap yarn over, and then we go through the first stitch there, yarn over, pull through, then we're going to yarn over and pull through only 2 loops, yarn over, go through the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops for a double crochet decrease. Then we will chain 1 and do another double crochet decrease into the next 2 stitches. Yarn over, put our hook through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go through the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. And then we're going to chain 1. And we're going to just continue doing the same thing of the double crochet decreases and then chain 1, going all the way around to the other side. I'm at the end of row 23, and I'm going to chain 1 and then slip stitch into the first double crochet decrease. And now we'll end our row. Now for our last row, row 24, we're going to slip stitch into the next chain 1 space and chain 3. We're going to be doing a peacock stitch. So we're going to slip stitch back into that same chain 1 space to make our fancy little peacock dot. Then we're going to slip stitch into the next double crochet decrease and slip stitch into the next chain 1 space and do another peacock by chaining 3 and slip stitching back into the same stitch. So repeat this going all the way around to the other side. I'm now at the end of my last row, row 24, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the beginning stitch there, and we're going to cast off. So cut your yarn and pull your yarn right through and secure it with another knot. Now our first fingerless glove is done. Now we're just going to have to sew in our loose ends and we will be complete. So go ahead and get your yarn threading needle and we're going to just sew in all the loose ends here. We have now completed our fingerless glove and it is looking gorgeous, beautiful. I hope you guys love it. Gonna go ahead and try it on here. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Comment down below your thoughts on this pattern and if it was easy, medium, or hard. Please subscribe to my channel for more amazing crochet and macrame tutorials as well, and hit the bell button so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Now be sure to check out my matching lacy leg warmers tutorial so you can have yourself a cute little set going with your fingerless gloves. Alright guys, peace out.